What up?
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, buddy.
What's up, Eric? How are you today?
I am excited.
Are you?
I am excited.
I know you're excited about today's guest because you always are.
I am.
We both are.
We both genuinely have affection for this gentleman.
Yes.
And I
for
think,
sure.
and I think over the course of the years of not being in as much communication as we should, this makes it that much special, right?
Oh yeah, much more special.
Much more specialer. Much more.
Oh, look at that.
Nana,
look who already hit us
wow.
up. What's up, Nana Penny?
Nana Penny in full effect.
And she knows the next guest too, right?
She does.
Yeah,
she does
should.
know.
I mean, I know she was an involved parent, right?
Absolutely.
So, Eric, the week was a little interesting for both of us.
It's one of those milestone weeks.
Uh-huh.
You know, the one that you're like when your kid's like pooping in diapers and you're like, oh, I can't wait till you can walk. Your 18th birthday, I'm getting you a set of luggage and you're out the door.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, because now that it's here, you're like, oh, you don't really want to go to school there, do you? Like,
right.
I mean, you could stay here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You can stay here for as long as you want.
Well, why are you saying all this? What's happening?
Well, nothing's happening, but I'm saying in our world,
nothing's happening.
Well, no, everything's
tomorrow.
Happening.
What's happening?
Yeah, no.
That's making you think like this.
Well, you have to kind of go back because last week she turned 18. Tomorrow, I believe, like 2 minutes ago, or in an hour, whatever the hell time it is. Hi, Jason Davis. Welcome,
man. We're getting.
I am so glad Jason Davis is in. Because
is this Jason Davis?
This is the Jason Davis.
Like Jeremy.
His brother is the other.
Okay.
But this is the cool Jason. This is the cool Davis.
All right.
And there's actually a story that I'm going to bring up later. But we got to get to it.
Yeah.
We got to get to it.
We got to Nana Penny. And you still look just as good graduating in 66.
Absolutely.
And you got a granddaughter graduating since Eric never got to it.
I never got to it. My youngest is graduating. I'm done.
You squirreled.
Well, of course I did. I mean, it's the Contagion Effect hosted by Mike and Eric. And that's what it is. So I'm going to introduce this gentleman.
But wait, we got to do our intro. You got to go.
Come on. Yeah, well, I'm going to introduce him a certain way then.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. After. So let's go to our new intro that we love so much.
Yeah, the times and places, they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just getting to it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Do it?
Yes.
All right.
He wrestled for 4 years at Biola University.
Did he?
He is a national champion.
Is he?
Our coach and mentor, a mentor to many, coached at Downey for 20 plus years, coached wrestling for another 10 on top of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Tony Ippolito.
Woo!
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. That did make a change.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Good. We appreciate you.
Penny, I can't believe you're here. I have so many fond memories of you coming to the matches when Eric was wrestling, and that's cool. And Jason Davis?
Yeah, how about that one? So let's just listen, I want to get to it because my senior year was these jokesters, these young kids, they were sophomores, right? And I will never forget the quote that I mistakenly made in the yearbook was, wrestling is a team sport as an individual. And, it's a lot of, there's just a lot of immaturity. I literally said that, right?
To the sophomores?
To the sophomores. Now, fast forward 2 years, right? Well, let's just jump. I'm jumping all over because I got to tell a story.
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I went across town to coach over at the school on Claus Road. and these kids literally whooped us up and down the mat. And to see Coach across, like it was one of my many, like, oh man, what am I doing things.
Well, Jason just said, "Hey, Coach."
Yeah, no,
love you.
Hey, love you too, Jason.
I hope that was billboard material for those kids. And I say kids because they're younger than me. I hope it was billboard material because I believe they were league champs.
Yep.
I believe they were league champs. That would be 94, 95.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
so
95.
So your speech inspired them.
Well, I mean, although some people probably think I was an a-hole.
Coach, I got to give him credit where he needs it once in a while.
So we'll get back on track, Mike. But I had to tell a story because Jason came in and I had to say it. I mean, and absolutely admire everything that Coach has done for all the kids.
For so many different sports.
Not, and obviously wrestling was my favorite, but I mean, track and field, baseball. I mean, he was the AD at one point my senior year.
That's a terrible job. That's a thing.
Boy.
Yeah.
That was the toughest job of all.
Yeah.
So, Coach, let's take it back to the beginning.
Take it back to the beginning.
Eric will do this, and we love him for it. That's why we have such good yin and yang here. So, Coach Tony Ippolito, first off, currently from Modesto, living in the Modesto area, soon to be moving out of town, out of state, across country,
2,936 miles away.
Yeah, something like that,
close,
right?
It's darn close. It's darn close.
Eric probably already map quested it or something.
Well, I know South Carolina is really close to North Carolina just because of the way that they're spelled.
Yes.
Yes. Like that.
North and South.
So, yeah. and I know North Carolina, there was some trucks that came out to a truck show this past weekend. So I know.
Did one of them mention I drove
2,936 miles?
There you go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you are moving to South Carolina.
Yes.
And you and Colleen, your lovely wife, are retiring from
teaching. She is lovely. Yes.
After how many years?
For me, I was at Downey for 36 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo. And I saw pictures of Big Valley, right?
Yeah, I actually helped my son. I assisted my son at Big Valley Christian School, and he and I were able to win the section tournament together.
Look at you.
Team duels, and that was so fun.
I know. My notes. I studied. I didn't study in school, but I'm studying now. I got notes. The 2019 Division VI champions, as an assistant coach, helping with Scott Dubbard, and as his son Matt Ippolito as the head coach.
Yes.
Nice.
Of a Big Valley school that only had the program was only up from running for like 4 or 5 years before.
Yeah, that's right. They had a team prior, and then it dropped, and so Matt started it from scratch, and it was all him.
Even Nana Penny said, "Wow."
Yeah. Yeah, they loved him, and he taught well. He was a good teacher.
His story is actually a cool story too, because he literally started as a janitor.
Wow. Yes.
And coach.
How do you know that?
Hey,
how do you know these things?
Welcome to the Contagion Effect Show, Coach.
Eric is our information gatherer. We won't say how he gathers it.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, it's just what it is. It's what we do.
That's why people need to learn what they put on social media.
Yeah. Be careful.
Because Eric Bello will find it.
I will find it.
All right, Coach. Wow. So you've been teaching for well over 30 years. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Chicago was my home till I was starting high school.
And you have any siblings?
I do. I have 5 siblings.
Do you?
Wait a minute.
Do you?
How'd you do that?
Okay,
guys.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Left to right with the mullet with the full beard.
Yeah, speaking of mullets, that's my brother, my younger brother, Sal. He wrestled at Biola too.
Okay.
And the mullet, I got a story about that. I got a picture of you with a mullet, Eric. Didn't you wear a mullet?
I believe there was one.
It may be in here.
Yeah.
We'll
there
see.
Some pictures.
We'll see. There's a picture.
My son Matt told me. Well, he noticed that the mullet is coming back in wrestling.
It is. No, it's coming back in high schoolers.
Coming back in high school.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
big
it's
time.
coming back, Eric. You might.
No, I'm good.
You're good.
Is that
I'm good.
so? Is that picture from 1967? Is that the mullets all getting cut off?
Yeah, my dad. My dad was a pretty hard guy. He wouldn't. Got to cut your hair.
I love that you guys redid that picture. That's
I'm the one
great.
peeking behind there.
Yeah, I see you in the back.
Yeah, my oldest brother is under my dad's left elbow.
Oh, and then who crossing his arms? Is that the one crossing his arms?
That's the one, and then my older brother is the one patting his belly or whatever. He's got his belt undone. It's hilarious. We were wild.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Real wild. And those are my two sisters, the sweetest little ladies on the planet. Those two.
Now, are they spread out? Is everybody spread out all over the country?
Yes.
Or? Yeah.
My oldest is in New Jersey. My youngest is in New Hampshire. My brother in the middle there is in Riverside down south. My older sister, the one in white, is in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
And my youngest sister is in Wyoming. So we are
how'd
all in different states.
How'd you end up in California?
Well, we moved.
So the story is he had to move because of the mafia. That's what he always told us. He always told us that,
because he has that name,
because they had
Tony Ippolito.
the pizza parlor.
My parents always wanted to live in. My parents, by the way, are from Sicily, both of them. So I am a first generation college grad, first generation whatever. But they always wanted to live in California, so
that's awesome.
They got motivated, whether they liked it or not, to go to California. And it was back in 73 or 74 or something like that. So
nice.
Yeah, that's how old I am.
You're good, but you look good. I mean, that's why I say you look almost the same as when I saw you back when Nick and Cody were 10, 11 years old.
Oh man, I'm getting out of shape bad.
Hey,
someday
I'm younger and I feel like I'm getting out of shape bad. You're in way better shape because I got more pictures.
There's one picture. I don't know about hey, listen, if you can get in there and you can tie your shoes and you can get no, not that one. Go to the stand. There's one with the stance.
No, I know which one you're talking about.
So I'm just saying, if you can still tie your shoes,
we're gonna talk. We'll talk the whole wrestling thing.
Him and his socks. He always had to have them high white socks pulled all the way up.
What are you guys pulling here?
Gotcha. you just don't even know.
You just don't even know. We're not pulling anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I always have a mission. On the podcast to bring emotion out of people. So that's my
and then Nana Penny always LOLing.
Nana.
So what made you get into teaching?
Believe it or not, I was working at the cannery. I was in personnel and in some personnel supervision a little bit, and I started the wrestling team. And while I was working there, so I would work at the cannery and then afterwards go coach. And then Joe Grigori was my assistant principal, then a principal. He's the one that hired me at Downey. And for 3 years, he asked me I was a walk-on, and he asked me to please get a credential. Why don't you come teach? And I finally did, and I'm so glad I did. I was a walk-on coach for 3 years, starting in '85. And boy, that's really hard to be a walk-on coach, I'll tell you.
Hey, so let me ask you a question real quick.
I don't know what that comment is, but we'll take it.
Well, it's because we don't have to tie shoes.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
So real quick, those first early years, what was what was one of the keys to kind of like, what's one of the important things to have as you're trying to grow even the high school program, right? You got to start with the littles, right? And probably back in the day, you know, I'm going to call him Coach Ford, right?
Yep.
Like he would put a bit. Well, hey, wait a minute.
No way.
Hi, Coach.
Are you
Coach
kidding?
Ford?
Hey, Mr. Ford. How you doing? What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
Can you hear
Mike.
it? Coach Ford, can you hear us?
Are you kidding me?
You're good. That's the Modesto Wi-Fi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's Modesto Wi-Fi.
That's all right.
We'll,
That's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Ford. Welcome.
Oh my goodness. I got a story about this guy, a couple of them.
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that got me into coaching.
Yeah.
How to run the microphone.
You're good.
Doing
You're good. We hear
doing-
you.
not- just
We
talk.
hear you
just
now.
yeah, we heard you.
Keep that full lock of hair right there in that camera.
Now we just
Yeah.
lost you. There.
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
Now we're
There he is.
There we go. Oh, we'll take you whatever way.
Wrestles
tell
and technology.
Are you there? Is your mic shows on?
All right. Well, go ahead. Tell the story, Coach. I mean, we all have a story. I mean, I remember getting my butt kicked. And the reason why I got my butt kicked, though, is because Mike worked with Nana Penny at Gallo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was that cross.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I didn't have a clue. I didn't make a connection until he's like, oh, yeah, your mom. I'm like, hey, your mom told me to rough you up. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like, yeah. So yeah,
Coach
it was
roughed you up.
Yeah.
So Coach Ippolito, what's your story?
Well, he was my wife was his daughter's first grade teacher, and he was wearing a wrestling shirt when it came to parent teacher conferences, and of course my wife had to say, "Oh, my husband was a wrestler," and Mike said, "You know, well, I know of a school who needs a wrestling coach right now," and something like that. And so he told her to give him a call. So I called him and talked to him. And the next possible moment, I went ahead and called Downey High School and asked for an interview. And they hired me right away. But I only did it if Mike would help me. Because I never coached before. Yeah. Mike was a legendary coach in Modesto,
big time,
with the Little Rascals. He also, and he coached every time I went on the mat and was shaking someone else's hand who beat our kids up. They were a former Little Rascal. I'm not kidding. The Fontanas, just a whole group of wrestlers. And I said, well, where did you wrestle? Where'd you learn? I was in the Little Rascals. This was back in the 70s, 80s, and the early 80s. And Mike was like the one who built Modesto area wrestling
for sure.
During that
every
time.
High school has a connection with it.
That's
because you figure what the McDonald's too, right?
That's right. Yeah, the McDonald's were there.
And Modesto High coach, I'm blanking on his name. There was like a whole slew of them.
Yep.
Anyways, that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
O'Brien's at Modesto
O'Brien's,
High.
thank you. Yeah.
Jim O'Brien would help me that first year.
Yep. Jim. He was
in the room.
Talk about a ball of energy, man. This guy.
No kidding.
Just, I mean, and older, right? And just got after it. Just, I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize. There was some ass whoopings going on. But it was the old school. Like that's how it was. It's how you toughen kids up.
I'm not here to be your friend.
I know. Well, hey, I mean,
That first year, I didn't have the luxury of having Mike right away, and I just worked him. And believe it or not, I had like maybe 50 kids show up. Major Picorni was the AD at the time, and he rounded up about 50 kids to come to that first practice. And the next day, only 22 showed up. and that was just too hard for them. But the ones who showed up really wanted to work. And I recall one of my wrestlers working so hard, he threw up, and he looked at, I didn't want to look at him and he went ahead and wiped it up with his shirt. And then when he looked up, he saw that I saw him, and we both smiled at each other, and we just kept on going.
Yeah.
But they just loved it. And I think they loved the idea of working harder than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was part of what attracted to the beginning wrestling team into the sport.
You need to understand, at Downey, okay, they had woodworking and they had all the industrial area, right? So the mechanic shop was by the parking lot, and then you worked your way down, and they had welding. They had a welding class.
Right.
No bigger than this room, Mike. No bigger than our studio, right?
Our fancy studio.
Yeah. And so there would be lumps in the mat, you know, and you're like, what the heck? And we always went, so we rolled up the mat, and it was literally the plugins for like the gas, right? I mean, the sweat coming down. We got a story about that one. The sweat coming down the walls, and just like, you know, but that's what
Mike.
wrestling, that was what wrestling was about.
All right. Did we get Coach Ford? Can Coach Ford hear us?
Can you hear us, Mike?
We're still trying to figure it out.
Back again.
There we
Yes.
go.
I hear you.
How you doing?
Trying to get it in.
Well, that's all right. We'll figure that out, and we'll.
You have any great stories about Coach Ippolito, Miss Coach Ford? If you can hear us. Oh.
You guys go on.
Okay.
All right.
Figure it out.
All right. No worries.
All right.
No worries. No worries. All right. So Coach, all these and hey, I gotta say, you know, he worked with Grigori, right? Who has a school. So when is Ippolito Field coming?
Well, it would be wrestling
room.
Yeah.
Okay. A mat.
There
a
has
room.
to be. It's something that we can work on.
Yeah.
Some former students have taken over the program. Jeff Thomas.
Yeah.
And
Ray
Leha, have taken on the program, and so.
AKA Grasshopper, according to Mike Ford.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm sure that there's something in the works. I'm sure that there'll be something down the road. But you know what's funny is, what did I just do?
You just removed yourself. Eric just completely removed himself from the show.
You're out.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you just completely removed yourself. But that's all right. We got today. Oh, you got to mute.
Wow, what is going on here?
You got to mute everything.
It's one of those days.
It is.
There's too much excitement. Okay.
Teresa, Mike's lovely wife.
Yeah, as they're fighting through.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Technical difficulty day.
Yep.
Let's see what Nana. You remember Eric has always been my social butterfly. Good.
What are you talking about? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's see it. Let's see if Coach Ford's any better now.
All right.
We're back.
Yes.
Hey, there we can hear you too.
Well,
Hi, Coach.
Didn't have to listen to those boring stories of Ippolito's.
But they're true.
Yeah, there's a couple that he should probably tell you. It's really true.
What do you did you think it would go the way it went for him for his career?
Who, Tony's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that he did an excellent job. We just had different philosophies.
Yeah.
Mine was, I always felt mine was more competitive, and his was more like he built character. He built character, and where I was more the competitor.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I mean,
almost like a finesse.
We have a couple of stories. One is Jeff Thomas and Joel. Can't think of Joel's last
name.
Robinson. I wanted Jeff Thomas to drop weight so he could get to the state finals, and Tony was encouraging the Robinson to stay down so he could make it. And it was on compassion.
Yeah.
I was on the competitive side, and Joel's mother was dying of cancer, and they, that's the way they went. And
yeah.
now we talk about it, and Jeff said, "I wish I would have listened," but those are things that you see as a coach, and the kids don't.
Yeah, those are tough, and those were tough. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Those were tough Those were tough lower classes back in the day too.
Yeah.
And for the record, Joel took fifth in state that year.
Yeah.
That was my junior year.
And
that was been in the finals.
And we just met the kid from Vacaville at the Stora tournament. And we were a point away from him. That's why I wanted to go after him.
Yeah. That's right.
There's the competitiveness.
Yeah. State champion, by the way.
But that's what we're there for. And Tony was the I don't know. I've since have had a stroke, so I'll have a little trouble with explaining stuff. I was very proud to work with him and to learn from him. He always says he learned from me, but there's a lot I learned from him. He was a good man, and he still is.
Well, that's what makes coaching, when you have that yin and yang, right? If you have two of either one of you, are you going to be as successful? If you have one of each, now you're gonna be a little bit better, right?
Well, yeah, that's why marriages stay together, because
exactly.
One's the opposite of the other.
I remember when Coach Ippolito coached the little league team, man. You had some yellers on some other coaches that were some yellers, and I remember watching Coach Ippolito always he's a lot more calm, and didn't lose his temper. Meanwhile, the other guy, Eric's lost in the oblivion. You guys can hear him. You can still
we
hear
lost
him.
him now.
Oh
yeah,
my
there
gosh! I have never had a problem at all.
It's
the excitement, right?
It's a weird night. It is a very weird night. So,
yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things where obviously you look back, we should have done, could have done, would have done. I will always say, at the end of the year tournaments, I wish I would have focused between what they call it, the masters now. What was it? Subsections, between sections and state. Man, everything was going on, and I didn't focus. I did some cardio, wrestled around a little bit, and boom, I made my goal. I got to my goal. My goal was to make state, not knowing that I could actually probably place if I would have had my head out of somewhere in focus, right?
Well, that's high schoolers. But that's why what great coaches make is they get the high schoolers focused on that.
For sure. And I appreciate both. I appreciate both of you guys and what you guys did and instilling all of the goals and morale and just just everything that you stand for,
Well, it's just cool to talk to two legends in wrestling.
Absolutely.
In Modesto wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And Nana Penny said you guys did a great job with all the boys. Especially with Eric. He needed all the help.
Yeah. Well, I don't see that on there.
I didn't read that. I'm sorry.
I don't think that was on there, but hey, I mean,
I was reading her mind.
Yeah, it probably took both of them to, keep the head on straight.
Exactly. Exactly.
She'd always let me know.
Well, right. I know you got to go to work. I mean, I got all the stories so no, it was good. I mean, I wouldn't go back and really change anything other than that 1 week in between sections and state. That's the only thing I would change.
Yeah.
And it would be work a little bit harder.
There you go.
Some more singles to doubles, and because we didn't really have big guys in there. So, I mean, it was, that was
you
only
were just bullying all the little guys.
Well, yeah, but then that's where I kind of got that attitude of, man, these guys are just a bunch of lackadaisical kids. And then, then 2 years later,
you did end up winning 2 matches there, right?
No, there was the kid from Morro Bay that I was up on, and then I did the ultimate brain fart, and then just it just. But anyways, hey,
well, you were a surprise to beat I think it was that
The
Vallejo
Woodland
kid.
The
Woodland.
yeah,
Woodland,
and Vallejo. Yeah, and Vallejo.
And
Yeah.
Vallejo. Yeah. You
The
beat
Woodland
those
kid was the
guys.
junior. He was like
Yeah.
he was like a national champ for jiu-jitsu or something.
Yeah.
The other, you know,
Nice.
They were all ranked, and here comes Eric knocking them both out. And there goes the rankings. There it is. That's the picture.
Oh no.
There it is.
Oh boy.
Is
Well,
that
That's my
that sounds like
wow.
yeah.
I'm sure my dad still has that shirt, and I know
Wow.
that sweater somewhere too.
Oh, so that was at state right there?
That would have been, I
That
want to
was-
say subs or
Is
sections.
that the
think it's
subs or
section.
sections?
I'm gonna say sections at JC.
I think it was sections because your dad was so excited, and
Yeah.
it was really.
Yeah.
I remember that picture, and that's section.
It's good to hear his dad was
Really cool.
excited.
Yeah.
It's good
I
to hear
was
his
so
dad
excited.
was excited.
That was.
I lucked out. I had home field advantage through everything.
Did you?
League was at Bayer, subs was at Downey,
Oh wow.
sections were at JC, and then
Right.
state was at UOP.
Oh.
So literally there was no reason for me not to come home with a medal.
Nah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
No
not that I
traveling.
harp on it 30 years later, guys. I'm just
Right.
saying. Hey, real quick, I hope you guys in the green room can hang on. Coach Ford, thank you for coming on. Do you have anything else that you'd like to tell Coach? If there's anything that you'd like to tell him or anything?
just wish him and his family the best. They're scattered around right now, and he'll eventually be with them all. Good luck.
Yeah,
Thank-
that's awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
You're
I've
welcome.
got more stories someday. I'm gonna let them out. Some stories about you.
We'll have to get you back on, and so you can share them with the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Look at Jason Davis; those eyebrows melt my heart.
I tell you, baby. I tell you. Commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason.
Hey, Coach, thanks again for coming on. Appreciate it. We're gonna go to commercial real quick. Okay, so
Okay.
just hang on,
Okay.
and then we'll
We'll be
come
back.
back. Yeah.
Yep. So
All
we're
right,
gonna go
love
to
you,
quick
Mike.
commercial, and then we'll be back.
Bye.
Now for our sponsor, Tamara Pulido with the Finance Group, where they're creating a future where everyone has access to the loan and home they love. Whether you're a veteran, law enforcement, a first-time home buyer, you're up or downsizing, or even if you need to just refinance, our community deserves proficiency and expertise. Better rates, faster close, welcome home. Tamara Pulido, NMLS 1655776. Again, that's Tamara Pulido, and her phone number is 209-204-3795. Man,
Pulido.
we're back. And Tamara's, oh my goodness, Eric,
Dude,
we'll have to restart
Oh
that
my
computer another day.
gosh.
So something's going on with Eric's computer on the night that he wants to be part of all this. And this is like
this is unreal.
the show he's looking at.
Gosh,
he keeps
it was the
disappearing.
first person that when we decided to do podcasts.
You haven't joined still.
Oh my
You gotta
gosh.
add
Grace.
yourself.
Oh, this is so this is why we have like 4 followers.
We have more than 4 followers. Stupid. We haven't had this much of a technical issue.
Yeah,
so
no, we haven't. We went on a
there's
good
just
roll
too
there
much
for a while.
excitement for
Yeah,
Coach
it is.
Ippolito.
It is.
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. So I remember, like, okay, so you start your career, and then the family comes, and the little rugrats, and it's just funny to see, because if you didn't know, I'm kind of a teddy bear. Like, I like little kids, and I like to see them grow up, and we kind of had a mascot, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, it felt like
who was your mascot?
yeah. Well, we had bring him on.
Which
We'd
one?
like to
Are all of them?
right there he is.
Maddie.
Or we'll
Hey,
just
but
add
hold
all of
on.
them.
Well, hold on, Coach, because
Hey,
the whole
we
crew,
got one more.
right?
Guys,
There
what
we go.
in the world?
There we go.
Hey, boys.
We just made this a party.
Hey,
Oh
thanks,
my
guys.
Yeah.
goodness.
You're
I
gonna
lost-
see him sooner than you thought.
Yeah, I lost my train of
I
thought.
gotta get a picture of this. This
Yeah.
is weird. Wow.
yeah.
Hey,
Hello.
this is going to be in
How
forever
cool
in
is
YouTube
that?
lore.
You're right.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, this is awesome. Hey,
All
thanks, guys.
three.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness.
It was kind of it wasn't a spur of the moment, but I'm like, dude, like, let's bring it on. We've done this one other time
Yep.
with Justin Wood, who was in our class, and then he graduated. He went over to Cobar Towers, and did I get you?
Yeah,
I got yes. I told you. The only reason I do this.
Those
But
guys.
he said he knew we were. He's like, "What are you guys up to?"
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's it's fun to watch this grow up.
Well, and we haven't even told our audience. So we've turned into our podcast kind of started. Eric and I can get on the phone and talk for forever, right? So we're like, dude, why not do a podcast, right? That'd be the cool thing to do. And so we start this podcast, and then we start getting a hold of veterans. Like we make contact with a gentleman we met here who moved to Seattle. Now he works for the Seahawks, and he's actually the liaison between the community, the Seahawks, the military community, both active and veteran, and the Seahawks. So it just started growing. And Eric, as you've learned, Coach Ippolito, he can find some amazing stuff. And he's been finding, we've had some amazing veterans on. So probably the last 12 or 15 shows have been just veterans. So that's kind of our direction.
Yeah.
So he mentioned you, and he's like, "Oh, he's not a veteran though." And he's like, "Wait,
hold on."
But which didn't matter because we both knew you, and Nick. I don't know if you remember me, and Cody from Little League back at Oakdale. I mean, I know that was you were, so we were talking about it, and we ended up having this connection with Coach, and
well, and gosh dang it, I'm too excited right now. I got
is,
microphones full, and I said, he may not have been in the military, but he's made military kids.
He's
like that's impressive. Like that's more impressive. I mean, not one, but two, three. I mean, it's
So everybody is either a veteran or active right now?
Yes.
Yeah, my older brothers, Nick I'm the middle. Both my brothers are still in right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in South Texas right now, close to the Mexican border.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Coast Guard. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
And Nick, what are you doing?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, and I do the aids to navigation. So we work on buoys and lights out in the water.
Are you also Coast Guard?
Coast Guard, yep.
Okay. So
I was just in the Coast Guard for a year. I was just in the Coast Guard for a year, but now I'm doing a completely different route. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Different.
Go ahead.
Sounds like there's some interest here.
Yep. Share it.
Yeah. Different kind of foot soldier, man. I'm actually now, because of my dad, I'm a youth pastor, so I'm involved with the youth. I've been involved with students' lives for probably over 10 years.
So awesome.
And now
my dad's a big part of that.
Matt, are you in South Carolina?
Or no, I'm in Arizona. So we're all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Separate.
All right. Kind of like your whole family, huh, Tony? Your brothers and sisters?
All over the world, yes.
But you're going to be a little closer to Nick. Everybody else
closer to Nick and Dan and Matt. We're gonna fly out there as often as we can.
There you go. There you go.
In Arizona.
I'm going to be moving to Virginia in a month, so I'll be about 7 hours away from Charleston.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are
you getting a new deployment or?
Yeah, I'm going to be at headquarters for a couple of years.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be good. Nice break.
So what made everybody join the Coast Guard? What was it about the Coast Guard?
Yeah, Dan.
Dan, since and everybody seemed to follow your lead.
So actually, my wrestling partner in high school, Brian Conrad, he was a weight. So he was 119s and I was 112s, senior year, and he got into like all the military academies. So he got into Naval Academy, West Point. And I remember thinking like, man, that's pretty cool. I wish I would have thought about the academies. And his dad, who was a former Army Ranger and West Point grad, he's like, Dan, you really like the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard Academy. I think you should look into it. And I was like, I think it's too late or whatever. He ended up sending my wrestling record in with his son's application. And I got a call from the Coast Guard wrestling coach. And he's like, hey, I saw your, you had a pretty good record. We're looking for some California lightweights. Would you want to come visit the Coast Guard Academy and, see what it's all about? I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then me and my buddy, the 119-pounder, Brian Conrad, both ended up going to the Coast Guard Academy. So, because of wrestling.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because of wrestling. Because of wrestling.
Dan has a record at Downey for the most pins in a season.
Oh.
There are 30 pins.
He got He got beat at some point.
Oh,
There we go.
oh my goodness. That's awesome.
I thought Eric had said something different. I'm like, dude, that's all Coast Guard. Like everybody's Coast Guard.
Yeah.
which is awesome. I mean, I think it's another
To
one
be
of the
honest,
forces.
it was kind of hard to find pictures of everybody though.
I know. Hey,
Like,
you still did.
I mean,
You
I
did a
did.
decent
Yeah.
job.
I'm impressed.
I mean-
I'm impressed.
I am too.
There's a couple.
Good.
Yeah, there's a couple pictures. I'm like, oh, this has got to get in. This has got to get in.
So there's a fourth picture there next to Daniel, and that's Russ Fernandez. He's kind of part of the family. He's
Also a Downey wrestler.
also
Nice.
a Downey wrestler. And,
Went to the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
It just seems.
He's stationed just a few hours from me, so we've
Oh,
seen
cool.
him
Oh wow.
a bunch. Him and his wife have come and visited us, but yeah, he used to beat me up. Him and his brother Tony Fernandez. They were the tough Fernandez brothers. They used to beat us up. It was like a rite of passage to wrestle them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey Eric, what's your problem? Why didn't you end up in the Coast Guard? I'm just messing with you. So Matt, so you just followed the lead, or were you also wrestling?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, so I wrestled also in high school, and I wanted to follow my brother, but wrestling was just a big thing that I saw like later on in life as I looked back and reflect. I just saw the impact my dad had through the sport, and so wrestling took me places. So I went to go watch my older brother at the Coast Guard Academy. He wrestled in a dual meet, and I had my Letterman jacket on. It said Ippolito on the back and wrestling, and the coach saw that at the dual meet, and he came up to me at the Coast Guard Academy, and he said, "Hey, you Ippolito's brother?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "You thinking of coming here?" I was like, "I can." And he asked me to send him some stuff. So I ended up sending him like a highlight wrestling video and my records. And same thing happened. So me and Daniel both got in through wrestling.
Nice.
So
Nice.
so Nick, I know you didn't go to Downey.
I went to Downey for my first 3 years, and then
Oh,
I
did
ended
you?
up transferring to Oakdale High School my senior
Right.
year.
So you had to go back and play with Andy and all them.
Yeah, Andy Morris.
And was Spencer there? Spencer was there too, right?
Spencer,
Yeah.
he ended up not playing his senior years. He
Oh.
wanted to do football and
Yeah, he was-
basketball.
Because he was the quarterback that year, and was that a state team or they
It
went
was a
far?
state team,
Yeah.
They lost in the championship. But
Right.
Yeah.
So you didn't wrestle though, right? Or did you wrestle?
I wrestled. I did freestyle growing up with my brothers, and then
Right.
I wrestled freshman and sophomore year.
Okay.
But then I just wanted to focus on baseball because both my other brothers were really into wrestling, and obviously my dad. But I had a passion for baseball, so
Right. Were you still
Passion.
playing second? You were still playing second at Oakdale, right?
shortstop.
Short. Oh, you moved to. Okay.
A passion. I believe you still hold a record, don't you?
A record.
Isn't there a record?
Yes.
Like an apology. I'm sorry. I want to apologize. No disrespect. Liberty University, right?
Nope, I went to California State Stanislaus University.
No, but we saw there was
saw
a
something
team
with
you played for.
With
Oh, that
I
was in
played
New
summer
York.
ball.
Yes,
New
he
York.
played a travel
Okay.
ball team.
Yeah.
And you have a record
Okay.
with them.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just-
good memory.
See,
Just
no,
saying.
it's not memory. He finds
I'm
this
just
song.
saying. I was
I don't
looking
know
up.
how
I
you
saw
Good
that.
investigative reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're not no normal podcast
This is-
and YouTube live
apparently, I
here.
kicked myself out 4 times already. I mean, I've never kicked myself out once, but today here it is. It's consecutive hits, right? Or consecutive.
I had a 28 game hit streak.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was
Still has not been beaten. I've checked recently.
See,
Still has not been
I
beaten.
love it.
Brotherly love.
love
That's
it.
awesome.
Proud
So,
brother.
just-
We're all very competitive, but we all
What?
we all want to be the best, but we all support each other for getting those records.
That's awesome.
But
That's-
so I always check. I check on that one still.
And
Hey,
that's why.
Well, I wonder who their parents
Yeah,
are.
I-
I mean, that's where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
Except for you guys, apparently you were around Mike Ford too to have that competition piece.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Ford gave the best speeches before like
did he not?
league or subsections. He'd come in and he'd just give a really good speech, and he'd be like, "Man, all right, ready to go."
Intense.
I wish we could have recorded them and then like dubbed them over Mel Gibson and Braveheart, and people would have had more emotion watching that movie.
Man, that's a great idea.
I can do that. If you get them, I can do that.
We gotta do that.
I don't think back then. I don't think there's recording devices.
Well, and you probably didn't want to hear some of the language or something.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I was gonna give him a bit of fairly clean. I mean, considering,
So we got to go back to Nick for a second. So Nick, obviously the brothers went to the Coast Guard. Was that the reason for the choice, or what was your reason? Because it wasn't wrestling now.
Yeah, I grew up around seeing them. Dan, I was 10 when he ended up going to the Coast Guard, and I saw him. I grew up around him, always, seeing him in the military, and then Matt ended up joining. So I knew about what the Coast Guard was all about. I never thought I would join. My dream was to get drafted and play baseball.
Yep.
But I went to college and played baseball there, and then I hit a dead end, and I was like, what am I going to do next? And so Dan pretty much talked me into joining and enlisting. So I enlisted in the Coast Guard, and I've been in for 4 years now. So
Nice.
I was in Alaska before Charleston, so it's been a cool journey to travel and see different places. So.
Right.
It's awesome.
Instead of just Oakdale and Modesto.
Oakdale, bud.
Good to get out of that small town.
So we just had a Coast Guard. We had Zach Greenlee.
Yeah, a guy named Zach. He's actually from Oakdale.
Yeah, he's a coffee roaster, and he goes and his coffee is the financial backing of going to.
He's basically a traveling doctor.
Yeah.
So he actually travels all over the world. But he went into the Coast Guard, actually worked on all his medical stuff through the Coast Guard, and then now he's a PA, but he uses his coffee company to actually travel the world and go to these third world countries and take care of people. So it's pretty cool.
Wow.
But yeah, he's
cool.
That's
he's
really
in Oakdale.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's neat. Matt, tell us about Hope.
Yeah, so I'm a youth pastor out here in Arizona. I started I wrestled in the Coast Guard, and then I got a scholarship to wrestle at California Baptist University in Southern California. And that was a brand new team, so I got to actually help launch that program. They're D1 now, and so went there and kind of me and my dad actually we were very similar, so we butt heads a lot back in the day, and we didn't get along that well in high school. And I was engaged to my wife right now. And before we got married, I decided to move back to Modesto to get my relationship with my dad right. And it's the greatest decision, one of the greatest decisions I ever made. And he's just an awesome guy that I've always wanted to be like. I just didn't see it at the time. And so from that, he asked me to, help coach at Big Valley Christian School right there, where he was also helping out as an athletic director. And so I kind of helped restart that wrestling program there. And we in just 4 years we became section champions, something my dad was unable to do. And
rub it in.
And, wow. Shots fired.
I'm proud of that.
Wow. Hey, he was doing the dad thing. He was holding back so you could do better than him, right?
That's
right, Coach?
That's right.
It was like one of the first things he led off with was.
Hold on, let me.
That's right.
Okay, the silence, and then let me say it.
Had to, you guys love it.
Hey,
It's
Matt,
okay.
I've talked to you for a while now. I'm just gonna.
Big Valley had 7
Hey, we
blue
did
jays.
take third once.
That's
Take third.
So I was a janitor there and just didn't know what to do. And man, God just got a hold of my life and just showed me to be around students to just try to impact them the best way God can use me to do. It has nothing to do with me, but a lot of what my dad's taught me. And so from there I just became a youth pastor, and really I've used the sport of wrestling as a tool of life. I've used that so many times as a metaphor. And so that team out there went from six wrestlers to over 24 wrestlers in just 3 years. And it's all because of the advice my dad would give me of building relationships. And so now I'm out here in Arizona starting a youth program out here for church. And then I actually helped coach a women's wrestling team out here at a college, and we are runners up in the nation out here. We had 7 All-Americans and 2 national finalists, 1 national champion.
Wow.
So that's wrestling's
cool.
got me places, and so has God. But it's all been a big thanks to him putting a great father figure in my life to show me what it's like to impact young men's life. My dad would always say, every young man wants to be treated as a man and feel that validation from a man. It takes a man that they respect looking him in the eyes and affirming that he is a man. Right. And so that's something that I've always held on to and wanted to represent my dad well at anywhere I went. So trying to do that out here too.
And it's interesting how we always learn that lesson a little later, right? So we have to go through that hard part. I mean, Nick, I went through it with Cody. I mean, Cody actually ended up turning up being a great athlete, but he didn't want to work for anything, and everything I said just didn't mean anything. And now he just says, man, I could have actually done something if I would have tried, especially with football. Yeah,
it had to come from outside of the circle of the family to get that, to get the influence in there, and he could have, we have it. Real quick, I do want to tell you, it's hellohopecity.com. Go check it out. Surprise, Arizona.
And we also do podcasts like you guys. I've checked you guys out too. That's how I agreed to this with Eric. And Eric got a hold of me, and I was like, I'm not just agreeing to anything. Let me check this out first, dude.
It happens every once in a while, I mean, we get vetted.
No, you guys do a great job.
Appreciate it.
Well, we try and we appreciate that. I mean, it's all about, bringing people to light that, because we talk about mental health, we talk about a lot of different things, and that's why we got focused on the veteron. I mean, both definitely. So you guys, I mean, Coach knows about your stepdad. Nice. There you go.
Hey, Sean.
So my dad was a Marine, and he was in Vietnam, and I never got to hear any stories, and we went through everything, but going through the VA process and all that, we learned that our veterans, there needs some help. We need some help. And so the goal of our show was to just be that voice and have that ability. I know you guys are doing your thing, and what's interesting is both of, for Dan and Nick, you're both in, Matt, obviously you're doing big things now, but everybody we talk to, they go through, some PTSD class, regardless if they were combat veteran or they never saw combat. We've had a couple people that never saw combat, and they go to a class and they're talking about PTSD, and they're like, wait, I do that. Oh, I have that. And they don't realize it till years later. I mean, we had a gentleman from Vietnam who didn't realize it till almost 50 years later. That all the things he was going through was due to PTSD. So that's why we started this.
And then we had a gentleman. We were at the local Contentment Brewing here, and we were talking, and he comes up and tells a story, and he's like, I never even did anything. He goes, he actually kind of dodged the draft because he was in a band. He was
he actually got orders that he was going to Vietnam, and luckily his band
member said, hey, I can. And like literally
changed his orders.
So he worked at the hospital down there as an EMT, and he was in the children's ward. So that's where his PTSD came from and stuff like that. So it's again, and real quick, I do want to bring up, I know that we, the wrestling family, I know there's a group that are getting together on Saturday, and I just needed this had to be special for me. So that's why we're doing this. But I want to appreciate Jason for coming in and staying on, and Sean, thanks for coming on. Nana Penny, love y'all. So it's one of those things where Coach Ippolito was a father figure for me, and a lot of us that were out there.
Well, I'm sure for Dan, Nick, and Matt, you guys had a lot of extended family, right? I mean, and apparently you were the mascots at some point too. So
it was like having older brothers or older cousins, like growing up. It was great.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, if you want Colleen to come in, I mean, she's got to enjoy.
For sure.
She can come enjoy the boys all on here.
Absolutely.
If you want. It's
apparently I texted her all day about stuff. So
she's a little shy, but
that's
if he doesn't listen to her, she'll take him down in front of everyone. He doesn't want that.
That's true. She's pretty tough.
Well, what's funny is, and we can talk to. So, Coach, how long have you and Colleen been married?
Oh, my baby. We've been married for 40 years.
She was
40
so.
years
I
and-
remember out of baseball, man. She was always there for the kids, whatever they need.
Yeah.
And she was the best team mom.
Yes.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet.
So
She's,
what was it? 42 years, you said?
40.
40
Yeah,
years.
we're on our 41st year.
Oh man, you
July
are
25th.
goals. You are goals. Oh, so you guys are going on 41, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We.
I'm only 20 years behind.
Hey, congrats, man. Great job.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah, well,
awesome.
And Cody's
That's one
got
of
2
the
kids.
things- Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, we got a
Got that
2-year-old
grandpa
and a 5-month-old now. He's almost 5 months old.
You know, one of the best things I love seeing, like on Facebook or when I'm at events or something, is seeing the former wrestlers or athletes with their families. I just smile huge when I see the wrestlers with their families and enjoying their families, supporting their families. And it's not always easy and it's not always perfect, but it lights up my heart when I see them, you know, hearing Eric talk about his family and of course my boys. And I was at Jim Watson's mom's funeral, Barb, and saw his family surround him. What a blessing to see their family. It was like the highlight. I mean, if there is a highlight at all of being at a funeral, that was amazing to watch them and see how close they were and loving they were. It's pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
She was another one that was always there. no matter
Yes.
what.
Yep.
Nice.
But she was the kick in the pants.
Yep.
She was the kick in the pants.
Hey, I do have to ask, the fishing picture, is that Alaska?
It is.
Yeah, I was like, that has to be Alaska.
That's
And then once Nick said it, I was like,
You
oh,
called
he
me
had to
out. Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I took that picture.
No, that one
Yeah.
that was just him. So I would never do that, Nick.
Was he
Eric
supposed to
might,
hold that
but I
out, though?
wouldn't.
And aren't you supposed to get the long arms, make it look bigger?
Yeah.
Look pretty dang big. I'm just
Yeah, they were at that area. If you just put your
It's
hook
so
in
easy
the
to catch
water,
fish.
really.
they're gone. They're on. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Nice.
so easy. You don't even need bait.
Awesome.
Hey, don't say that. Just say how good you are.
Yeah. That's
Don't tell the secrets.
Tough
Yeah.
go, man.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It's
Yeah.
really rough.
Yeah, that was a beautiful trip that I took to see Nick while he was stationed there.
That's
and,
awesome.
that was a lonely time for Nick, but because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's a tiny town.
Yeah,
tiny
and
town.
just-
I think there's only a Subway and a pizza parlor.
Sounds like
Subway!
Houston.
Like holy, like
Yeah.
Subway's everywhere, right? I mean,
Sounds like Houston. Yeah,
Nick,
that's where we're at
Yeah,
now. So
yeah.
we live in Houston, and now Cody's graduated from there. His little brother, his little sister, and I got
Yeah.
another one graduating next year. He's going hopefully to the Air Force. That's where his goal is. So that's why I love hearing the stories about you guys visiting together, because that's what I look forward to is where is he going to go that I can go visit him and
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
It's cool to travel to different spots.
Exactly.
And they pay for you to live there. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's not going to be a pilot or anything, but we're a Marine family. That's all I knew from my dad. But I'm like, no, you're not going to Marines. Love them, but I want you going.
Air Force is a good choice.
Exactly.
I like that.
beds with sheets on them.
Yeah.
Like linen.
And they don't have to get
You
their
know?
own food. They're like catered and all that.
They have nice bases too. Air Force has the best bases.
Oh
yeah. That's the stories we've I've kind of see our trend is we have a lot of Marine.
We have
Army.
we have a lot of Army infantrymen, and they're all the ones that have been injured
Air Force,
and
It was just like wounded warrior. Like that's one of our big things.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's always fun. Oh, the Air Force. Oh, the Air Force.
Right.
Always a ribbing.
Hey, I do have a question for everybody before we lose time, because we ask this of every guest. And Matt, if you've watched any shows, you may have heard the question, but it's super like you guys are gonna have to think all that. All right. Not really. So everybody's relaxing, say you're off work, you're just chilling out and you want a nice drink. What's your go-to drink? And it could be anything, Coach. So it doesn't have to be, some of us might have a different cold beverage versus others. So it's whatever works. So we'll start with you, Coach. We'll go oldest to youngest.
I'm not an alcohol drinker. I have it once in a while. I do have, some when people invite me. I have wine. I see some wine bottles on my counter right there, but that's just once in a while.
You just see them though.
But I really, believe it or not, I just like water.
Eric lost.
Water's my go-to.
Every single 25 episodes.
Look at Ice-T. You got to show your lights on too bright.
Time.
He writes down and he's like, coaches.
Nobody likes Ice-T. Or what I say, Ice-T with
you said
sugar.
Sweet. Well, we had some people from the South and we said sweet. Yeah, he said iced tea with sugar, instead of sweet
Mike's
tea.
like, isn't that sweet tea?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's iced tea with sugar.
And they still chose something different. So
I had iced tea for lunch, Eric.
There you go. There you get a quarter.
Unsweetened.
You get a quarter of a win.
That's what I like.
Dan, how about you?
I
know Dad's on here.
So I know. I like. So my wife grew up in Massachusetts, and when I visited her, I got into Polar Seltzer. It's like just seltzer water, but flavored. It's really good. And then for beer, I like Sculpin IPA. That's my go-to beer.
Okay. So you're an IPA guy? You like IPAs?
Oh yeah, it's kind of.
I just can't do them.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm sipping on a lager right here from.
Oh, nice.
From Great Notion up north.
I just learned what IPA meant.
Hey,
do with India or something like that.
It's so funny because my dad was around. My dad was around some of the roughest guys, and there's still some things that I'm like, how do you not know what this is?
Hey, he put his head down, stayed in his lane, and did his thing. That's
right.
I remember that.
Great.
I knew if I was talking to Steve Wyckoff, I could talk a different way than I talked to Coach Ippolito.
I love it.
And it's nothing bad, Coach. It's nothing bad.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So, Matt, how about you?
That's awesome.
Your youth people are listening too. Be careful. No.
I am. Oh, no, that's okay. I'm 24/7 coffee. It's coffee all the time. That is my drink.
Cream sugar, just straight?
No, black. I go, yep. I'll just go. Coffee is my jam. That's what I live off of.
Okay, so let's get into that because there's coffee now too. Are you going already ground, or are you getting beans and grinding it?
Yeah, it's already ground. I have a coffee pot in here. I like the smell of it, and I like
Folgers,
I just set it.
Folgers.
That's right. That's the best part of waking up.
Juan Valdez.
Yeah, but real.
Nick probably doesn't know that commercial.
Real quick before you guys, before anything happens, I just wanted to tell you guys thank you for what you're doing and putting this on for my dad, but also just going above and beyond for being there for people that are in need. Just want to say thank you guys a lot for what you do.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Well, it's fun, and it's a little bit for us and a little bit for everybody else as well.
Okay, Coach, real quick.
Wait. We got Nick.
I know. I know.
All right.
So Nick, when you're chilling and relaxing, what do you like to grab?
He doesn't want to say. He's like, oh, great.
I like seltzers, but if I'm gonna have like an alcoholic beverage, I like Moscow Mules.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many variations though of that now too.
I know. It's crazy.
It's crazy now.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
Well, and our sponsor, she came over once to do it. And I'm like, because we offer up a drink, right? And she's like, I want a Moscow Mule. I'm like, are you serious? I don't even have like the copper cup or anything. Like, but I had to go Google how to make.
You know what she did? Remember what she did? She says, "Hold on, let me go out to my car and I'll grab a."
Yeah, she had stuff in her
car. Had the stuff in it. Like that is dedication right there.
That's
wow. That is dedication.
Yeah. Sorry if our security's going off in the background.
Yeah,
I got 2 Rottweilers and my wife left. So. So for Eric, I know he's a craft beer guy. I'm a wine guy.
Yeah,
we're kind of wine snot. I know Eric's got.
Look at that. Hey,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can do the whole thing. Ooh.
Is that a Cabernet?
No,
This is a
it's
cab
actually
shop.
it's a Zinfandel.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
I don't
Zinfandel.
okay.
I don't even know.
It's an old vine Zin.
They
Gallo
asked, I'm like,
Winery? Gallo
Oh,
Winery?
come on. No. No. I mean, there's some Gallo brands that are good, but no disrespect to Gallo because they do some great things, and my kid works there, so I got to be good.
Yeah.
There you go. Sponsor.
Oh, go ahead. No, yeah,
Sponsor you.
that would be nice, but our little show right now, we have my lender.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, we're always looking to bring
we are
support to our channel. There's more things that we would love to do.
right.
Just saying, if people want to
But
talk
when
later.
people want to hit certain numbers, and we're still, I mean,
yeah.
we're 20 something shows in, and we just moved over to YouTube. We started as strictly a podcast, and then we're like, oh, well, wait, we could go YouTube live. That's kind of cool. Everybody,
That's the cool
look
thing.
how beautiful we are. Everybody
look
needs
at
to
me.
see us.
That's right.
Great. Yeah.
Speaking of beautiful,
Great beards.
Yeah.
it's the beard
Try to-
product, man. I just got my new beard product going on.
There you go. I know it's all shiny.
Yeah, isn't it nice?
Yeah.
It's when you wash it, that's what happens.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the one time a week, it's good.
And speaking of beautiful, Coach Ippolito, I do have one more guest that I want to bring on. Okay. He was on our podcast before, and I'd like to introduce you, Don Solinger. Welcome to the crew.
No way.
Coach, how are you?
Oh my goodness, Don.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. This is so cool. Are you
Very cool,
back
Eric.
east? Where are you living now?
Well, for now, I'm in Florida. I'm still in Fort Lauderdale area.
Yeah, I thought you were moving though, huh?
I'm moving to Texas mid-July.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, go out
That was
to
breaking news on the Contagion Effect.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, just to let you know. I mean, we did do banners and
Don.
breaking news.
There was a flyby, all
Hey,
kinds of
just
stuff.
saying.
Something we did.
Don, you were on the Loloma team, weren't you?
I
He
was.
was one of your six
One of my six.
6 year.
One
Yeah.
of my Sixers.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Very
He tried
rare
to give
right
me-
there.
Yeah. He tried to give me credit. I couldn't take it because I started in 8th grade with my basketball shoes. That's what I had. I was basketball.
Hey, they wear high tops, right?
Well, yeah. Well, the problem was it was like basketball, and then we're like, we're gonna wrestle. I'm like, wrestle? Like, that's cool. I mean, I took modern dance in 6th grade, bro. just because the sheer flexibility of myself taking modern dance, I walk into freshman year, bro. You can't pin me. David Shaw, Jim Wilson, Brian Powell,
Jim was.
dude, straight.
Put you on the ground.
I mean, every single day.
Like
I
a
wanted to
rag
quit.
doll.
So
I
you
wanna
said
quit.
that out loud? You're not gonna.
I told them.
Oh well, then
I'm
you
walking
got
down
what
the
you
halls.
deserve.
Walking down the halls, I said, dude, I'm Eric Mello, bro. You can't pin me. You ain't gonna. yeah.
That's
So-
awesome. That's awesome.
By the way, I do need to interrupt. I heard from backstage, and I just want to make a little announcement.
wait. Did you change? You didn't. That wasn't your choice.
It wasn't
last
your
time.
choice.
You
last
don't,
It
you
time.
don't
wasn't.
get to change.
You're not my wife. I can do whatever I want.
Wait, what wife number again was
Yeah,
that?
what is it? What do you got?
You would be number 3.
I'm already taken. Thank you, though.
Hey,
I appreciate the offer.
Hey, I know that he's moving to Texas to be closer to his boys and the group, the group family that he has going on there, and that's awesome. We do what we do for our kids. And almost got through. Almost got through this podcast.
He's been, by the way, Coach Eric's been talking about this for like the minute he got it. We've been talking about it.
It started with the phone call. Like the phone call had to pull over.
Right.
Just that passion.
Yeah. And I remember it with baseball. I mean, and when
I
you
can't get up and give speeches.
That's why we do this, right?
Yeah.
This is the reason why we do this, so we can get this stuff out. But it's I remember talking to the boys, and to be honest, I think Cody was actually an alternate, and I think you're the one that made him that way when you made the call to us. So he and then he actually played very well for you guys, and I I honestly attribute that to you, Coach, because you showed Cody a lot of love. I mean, we were not necessarily Oakdale people. Like, we lived in Oakdale, but we weren't entangled, from being in a small town, and Nick, going back to Oakdale. It's small town. I mean, that's why we were like, when we moved to Houston, we're like, we better get in there so we can get our kids into the sports culture, because if you're not in it,
it's tough.
I mean, and I know Modesto, there's probably circles, but when you get in these smaller towns, it gets a little rougher. And I definitely attribute, so that's why it's so real when Eric talks about his stuff. I'm like, dude, I know Coach Ippolito was the one that like pulled Cody along and saw something there, and he ended up playing pretty well. So and that was because somebody showed him some love. So I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's not the story, Eric.
No,
because Eric talks about you as another dad. So,
and I can't do that. I can't.
Before Eric cries, I want to lighten the mood. So, and it's in a good way. Don't worry, it's not a bad joke or nothing. Coach, the only reason my son's name is not Anthony is because I couldn't give him those initials. If I would have given him the name Anthony Scott Salinger, all the good stuff Eric said about me, he wouldn't be saying that.
No.
Boy names too, right?
And
that's the only reason Mike's son doesn't have your name.
Yeah. And by the way, Coach, he did say that on our show when he was on it before. So it's not something he's saying now.
I got to go back and see that. That's hilarious.
That's funny. It's a good call.
Yeah. Good looking out. See, that's why.
Way to play it safe, man.
That's a message to all our fans. When you're naming your kids, make sure you pay attention.
You can't go in there halfway.
Hey, Jason Davis is saying hi.
Davis said, "What's up,
Jason?
What's up, buddy?"
He's been watching. Thanks, Jason.
And just for the record, I got to give credit for the whole English thing, the spelling thing to the ex-wife. It wasn't me. I can't spell worth crap. So she caught the spelling. So I'll give her that credit.
That's awesome. Don, that's awesome.
Well, do you have?
I don't have anything, but I'm working on more.
Okay.
I was working on one more thing.
All right. Oh boy. This is a surprise to me. So
I don't even know if he'll see it.
We'll see where it goes.
So I don't have a topic right now. I'm trying to stall for like 2 minutes.
Eric's like literally, Coach, you got him. You got him. This is. I mean, we've lost him a couple times during shows, but
the problem that I have is when the stories are being told, I'll sit there and I'll go glassy eyed.
Right.
And just listen to the stories.
Oh yeah.
We've had some great and that's what it was. So Andrew Coughlin, who is moving to Arizona, he's part of the Wounded Warrior program. So we can exchange information with you two. And I can't remember exactly where he was at.
He's gonna go to Arizona. I know it's
Arizona, but I want to say Flagstaff. How close is Flagstaff?
Okay. It's a little drive, but that's all right. Yeah.
I wasn't sure how
it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
And for all of you, and Don heard this conversation too, for Nick, Dan, and Matt, obviously Nick and Dan, you're still in, but one of our biggest things that we like to speak to is your benefits, right? You've done these great things for our country. And one of the things we come across is that there's a lot of veterans, Matt, maybe nothing happened to you. You feel great. You've done all this, but you did your time. So there's still benefits out there for you. For example, we talk about my lender, right? You got the VA loans. So when any of you are looking to buy a house, if you're in California, come see me. But if you're buying a house, the VA loan, it's $0 down. You get a lower interest rate. There's so many great things for VA loans. So please. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. Yes, neither one of us were active or in the military, but we have a huge passion and love for our active and our veteran community. And we would love to help. We would love to help people because we've now made some contacts. I mean, we actually have a couple guests that worked for the VA. So we have guys within Wounded Warrior, the VA, We have American Veterans First, which is right in Riverbank. That's an organization right in Riverbank.
That place is awesome.
Yeah,
that place is awesome.
When they're waiting to redo their whole showroom, and once we do that, we'll probably get back there again. So, just want to make sure for you guys, you know, even though sometimes the thought process goes, well, I don't want to take it away from somebody else. The honest thing is that it's there for you. And real quick, Nana Penny. She's sending blessings to everybody. For those of you that don't know Nana Penny, that's Eric's mom.
That's awesome.
I am going to get so much crap.
Why?
For this introduction.
Okay, here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to introduce to you the better Davis.
Oh my
Jason
God.
Davis. Jason Davis.
Jason.
What's up, guys?
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
So, in the beginning of this podcast, I did bring up the fact that I did call you guys a bunch of immature little kids, and now that you're here, I do want to,
30 years now.
Damn.
I know we're old.
I do want to apologize. You guys did a great job.
Coach is young. We're all old.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, Nick's still young.
Yeah, you guys did what you guys needed to do, and you guys prevailed, and you know the leadership
by the way,
this man has showed us.
It's not 30 years yet. Don't make me that old.
Yeah, well, you're already retired, bro.
29, dude.
So,
you're the only one retired.
Yeah.
Here. I mean, Coach Ippolito's just
he's
now
still
retiring.
Working. Yeah, he's still got a few more days out there. So,
well, how many children does he have?
It's endless. He's 30 years of wrestling. It doesn't. I mean,
he's got all of you. I mean, his growth is good. He had all of you too.
Yeah. Jason, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, I have to confess, I owe Jason something.
All
the work he did on my house.
You don't owe me nothing. I think I gained way more than you did.
I don't know.
Well, and now he's leaving it, Jason.
Yeah,
it's a great place. A lot of memories there for I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, what popped up for me was Camille's picture with when I brought the twins out. We picked a bunch of stuff off the trees in the front yard. You had a bunch of fruit trees.
That's right.
Yeah, that came up.
Is this the same house in Riverbank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the house that we took the chicken wire and stuff around?
Yeah.
You know, I thought I was coaching to help guys and to help guys turn into men and all of that kind of stuff.
Slave labor.
I benefited from you guys more than you know. And well, honestly, I think you guys made put into my boys more than you realize. I think my boys looked at you guys like superheroes when they were young, and you know, I could tell. I don't have to tell them stories about all you guys because they lived it. They lived it with you, and it was so cool to allow them to be part of your lives, to watch what you guys did, and how you were struggling and got through things and goofed around and
they didn't goof around. They took everything serious.
About Merced Invitational. What do you mean?
Took everything serious.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I'm not bringing up that. I'm not.
No. Oh man, I've never been told.
That is a story that will not be told on this. I see the red button right there. I will press that sucker so fast. That will not be shared on this podcast.
Well, you know, there's Coach Ippolito is he's just an amazing man. Everybody on here knows it. Anybody that's met him knows what kind of he penetrates your soul. He emulates greatness. You can see it in his relationships with his kids, and we were blessed enough to be able to watch that.
Yeah.
I was in a fairly violent childhood, and obviously you guys know me pretty well. I'm struggled with that growing up, even in my older years, probably longer than I should have. But I remember I was at the ranch, and I think it was Dan and Nick. They kind of got into it a little bit, and Coach Ippolito, instead of just beating the hell out of him like what I would have got, he gets down on one knee and he just kind of talks real softly to him, and he made Dan feel so bad. He's in tears, and he never raised his voice. Didn't even remotely think. Dan was in no way ever even worried about getting the hell beat out of him. And that really, I sat there and I said, that's what I want to be. Yeah. When I raise my children, you know. And my oldest boy just left, but my youngest boy's here. And I tell you what, the only time I ever spanked my kids was if they put the other one in danger, because I didn't want to promote that, that aggression, that like that. And basically, my children should be on here thanking Coach Ippolito for the years of butt whippings they missed. But no, it's you boys. I'm really. I don't know if you remember me or not, but it's really special to see you guys on here, and I've known you since you were youngsters. I don't know if you remember me, but anyway, it's really neat seeing you guys on here, showing your dad love and seeing what you guys have turned into, and it's something special. And the Ippolito family is special for a lot of people. And Eric, thanks for bringing me on here. I didn't want to be here, but
I know. And there was a few people that had a list. There was a list of a few people that I had, and I'm like, nah, you know what? Ripped it up, threw it away. I said, I know who I talked to outside of high school.
Well, and I think he's called out all of Downey.
Yeah.
He literally called out all of Downey.
Yeah, because Don was on our team. And then was in my grade, because we're all on the same team. Right. But like I said, it's a team, it's an individual sport in a team atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
And and unfortunately that thing got posted in the yearbook, and I'm just like, man. But I will always say, even on their anniversary date, when they cherish that league championship, and much love to you guys, and you guys worked your tails off for it, and it wouldn't be without that leadership.
It's funny because I hated wrestling. Yeah. Like, I absolutely hated it. And the only reason I was there is Red Dog and
Red Dog.
Yeah.
So there was one there. They're like, hey, we got a shot at taking, league this year. We didn't have a 171, 189. My dude, I hate wrestling, because I wasn't real good at it, And I was just to the point where I didn't like. I was definitely afraid of a head and arm, But I think that we were underdogs. I don't think anybody really thought we could do what we did, and I don't really. I think the specialness of that team is nobody was really that great. Like, none of us were really standout guys. I mean, Dylan Burgess was just, technically, I don't think Dylan was like a superior wrestler. He just had a motor and a heart.
Yep.
He willed himself to be better than everybody.
Yeah.
That's right.
But other than that, I think we were all pretty much just, I'm not gonna downplay us a little bit. I mean, we had talent, but we were
Rudy.
We weren't Joel Robinson,
Yeah.
We weren't Joel, and I think
you guys had better leadership than skill.
And I'll never forget that last dual meet. Pete Marudis,
yes,
who was just the sweetest guy. It was coming down to those last matches, and I saw Pete just launch off his chair, and he's got his fist clenched down by his knees, and he's just screaming, "Let's go!" And I was like, "Oh, it's real! It's like, we got to do this,
That's right.
But it was just it was a neat group, and I think we all wrestled for each other and wrestled for Coach, and it just kind of turned out the way that it did.
Well, you guys were last place last year. In fact, you were last place. That prior year, you were last place in football and everything.
Yeah, it was.
Let's not get on the football.
You guys were tired. You guys were tired of losing.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
I saw it in your eyes when you came to the first practices that first week. You were tired of losing, and I knew you guys were going to do something special. I didn't know you were going to take league. So we went from worst to first.
Yeah.
Nice.
In the league because of your heart and your desire to finally be a winner. You guys ran the team. I just sat back and watched, and like you said, that passion that Pete Marudis displayed was even in practices. I didn't have to motivate you guys.
Yeah.
No,
I just let you guys go. I took my hands off and I directed, the practices and all.
Right.
But I think, Dad, that you don't give yourself enough credit. What you're able to do with men and young men, especially, is something no other coach can do, and that's create a safe atmosphere to where they feel like they can be themselves around you, and they won't let you down. They don't have that fear of letting you down. Where you made that safe atmosphere for them, and that's what you're someone that they thought would be worth the fight, and that's someone that they were dying to do that for in their lives, and you gave that to them. So I think you're a big part of that, Pops.
Yeah,
that all goes back to what Jason was saying. It's Coach, you're not taking credit for it, you're just kind of downplaying it, but you didn't have to go out of your way to give us the drive we needed, to give us encouragement, to give us fathering, so to speak. You just did it. That's who you are. It just it comes natural to you.
Yeah.
I was more worried about upsetting Coach Ippolito than my own dad. We were at the Escalon tournament, and Billy Bush had this I don't even know what you'd call it, but it was a Billy Bush episode, and I got fired up, and I think I said some off color stuff. I'm coming to defend my boy, and Coach Ippolito, he stands up and he's looking at me across the mat, and he gives you that kind of that look of, oh, Jason, not again. And I look over and I see Colleen and the two boys, and I said, oh, Jason, not again. You did it again. And then so he takes me outside. I'm calling my girlfriend, who I'm married to now. I call her up, said, babe, come pick me up. I just got kicked out of the tournament. And Coach Ippolito, he meets me at the door, and he just gives me the, gosh darn it, Jason. I was all pissed. I was like, I'm out.
You could just
gosh darn it, Jason. Gosh darn it. Oh,
we just can't be like this. We've got to be better. Next we just got to be better, Jason. We just got to do better.
Oh well.
You know what? You can't change it right now, but you just got to be better.
I have to say, I genuinely, I'm not just saying this, I genuinely wanted to learn about each and every one of you and watch you. I really respected every one of you. I had a lot of respect for each of you, what you're going through, how you get through what you're getting through. And I don't know how to say it any other than I just had a lot of respect for each and every wrestler that came through that door.
Yeah.
I have to say, also, I've never kicked anybody off the team.
No,
never. They chose if they.
I'm proof of that.
Yes.
I'm proof of that.
I think there was a lot of it, Don.
If all I did was just say, here's the punishment. If you don't want to do the punishment, there's the door. But you choose to leave or not.
And they chose the door.
Jack of all trades. So I'm not going to name any names, but there was a certain tournament in a town down south from Modesto.
You can't do. And thank you for welcome, and thank you for joining us on the Contagion Effect.
We will call
like,
that a
subscribe, subscribe, and share for all your friends.
I'm just going to tell a story about how well-rounded Coach Ippolito is, because he's not just a great mentor; he's also a great plumber. So this guy. So a certain guy on the wrestling team, we're going to the bathroom, and he got the keys, so we go into the coach's room because he has a problem with going on public toilets, apparently. And so he gets into the coach's room, and he uses the restroom, except apparently his poop is as luscious as his eyebrows, and we can't get it to flush. So we're in full panic mode. We're running around this coach's room trying to get this toilet to flush. And I don't know, we must have been in there 30, 45 minutes.
I can't believe anything.
And all of a sudden, and then Coach Ippolitto, we get to knocking, and me and this guy, we just stop and we freeze and we just look at it. Like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? You know?
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So he goes, guys, just go get a bucket of water and pour it in the toilet. It worked. And I've used it to this day. I've used that trick 4 or 5 times.
Electrician and
Can you
plumber.
say,
Huh?
hey, you know,
Just a bucket of water.
Yeah,
Who knew? Who
I wonder
knew?
who that guy was.
Who knew?
yeah, who knew?
That is funny.
Who knew? Unreal.
Well,
that's funny. That's really funny.
Seriously though, we do need to probably
Yeah.
start wrapping up. Otherwise we could hold you hostage all
Yeah,
night,
for
Coach.
sure. Hey, boy,
and-
hey, thank you guys, Matt, Nick, and
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Thanks for reaching out,
Seeing all
guys.
you guys again.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Thanks for what you do.
If anybody wants to hang out, we'll finish up with Coach. If anybody wants to hang out, we can talk after. We can after we turn this all off. So you're welcome to stay
Yeah.
on.
You got to go in the green room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You have
kick
a
you all out.
charcuterie table or
Hey,
whatever.
before you kick us out, here's a toast to Coach.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Here's my
Thank
tip.
you.
For all the years,
There you
all the
go.
years and all the guidance, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you,
And
guys.
like I said, if you want to
Appreciate
hang on, it's up to you. And then we can talk after. Thank you
See you
guys.
guys.
Thanks.
Wow.
They all like most of them hung up.
They hung up.
They
Moving
just
along.
hung
It
up.
is 10:30 on the East Coast.
Yeah, I
so-
know. That's I know for them it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh, Nana Penny.
She's
said,
still
"Love
awake.
you."
Holy
Aw.
shit.
She's
I
still
love-
she's still going strong.
Still
watching
going
us.
strong.
The moms are strong on this
The
show.
moms are-
The moms
Yeah.
are very
Moms are
strong.
wrong. Hey, no, but Coach, thank you. You know, like I said, this was my number one. This was going to happen for me, and I'm not going to get into all of the details and everything, but thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. Love
Thank you,
you.
Eric. Thank you very much for having me on here. I appreciate what you're doing, and it's very honorable. And I can't believe that I get to spend time with you guys again. This is one of our last few days that we're here in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah.
And here we are talking. It's so cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Really is cool.
Yeah. Enjoy Saturday. Tell
you.
stories. Share what
Yes.
share what you've just done.
Got
Let
a lot
them
of
know.
stories.
Yeah. So that's why we did it. Because I needed
Thank
the
you.
one-on-one.
Yeah, we got our own little going away
Yeah.
for you. So
Oh,
even though I didn't get the time with you, you still made that impact, on our family. And
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you,
when
Mike.
when you made the call that night, my wife and I were like, oh, we were kind of bummed, but we were like, I have a feeling it's because Coach
Yeah.
Ippolito, because you showed a lot of love and
Well, I picked Cody. I thought he had the right attitude,
right.
and it's because of his parents.
Uh,
Really, truly, I just really liked him all along. Really,
well, we
good,
appreciate that.
fine young man.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All
So,
right.
Coach, have a wonderful night. And like I said, if you want to stick around for a second, we can
Yeah.
say goodbye again after we
Okay.
exit
Yeah,
out of
we
the
gotta
show. Then
Pay
we'll
some bills. As they
yeah
say.
yeah
Got it.
we gotta
Okay.
do some more bill payment.
Got it. All
All
right,
right,
guys.
Coach. Thank you.
Take care.
Woo!
You almost made it.
Well, I knew it was going to happen.
I know.
It is what it is.
But hey,
Yeah.
that's the impact a man like that
Yeah,
has.
absolutely.
And again, just goes to maybe he wasn't a veteran, but it goes to the mental health piece and the things that he did that impacted you and
100%.
and Don and Jason. I want to say Jeremy because
Yeah.
I've been around Jeremy so much more.
Yeah.
But with just you three coming on, it truly shows, and then our short time with him.
Yeah.
Just incredible man, him, just incredible family,
Absolutely.
right? The whole family,
Absolutely.
his wife Colleen, the boys.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's great.
That was, yeah.
I think, it was good.
So I know you're kind of out of words. So let me, Eric,
Thanks, buddy.
deuces.
Deuces.